up your goddamn hand. Are you invulnerable to high fives? Damn it. I'm going to caper the fuck out of you.
Hey there guys, Ryan here, bringing you a sniper commentary of all things. Bet you weren't expecting a sniper commentary. Well, there's a story behind that, and it basically boils down to, one night I was bored of trying out trick stabs, so I hopped on sniper for a second. And I figured out, finally, the final trick I needed to become a half-decent sniper. Whereas before, if you didn't know, I was actually quite the terrible sniper. And I'm going to share my tips with you! That's right. You too can learn the secrets to becoming a half-decent sniper. And that's why you're here in the first place. I mean, unless you're just interested to see what someone has to say about it. But, disclaimer, everything I say in this video is my opinion. Whether or not it works for you is up in the air. But, without further ado, let's get started. So there's two types of aim techniques in my opinion. There's prediction and twitch. Prediction is where you see someone, you predict where they're gonna go based on their movement, and you shoot where they're going to be. Big examples of this are when someone jumps. They don't have any control over where they're, like... They have control where they're gonna land when they start the jump, but they can't change mid-arc. So you can just simply aim where they're gonna land. That's why jumping around is not exactly the best way of dodging things. And then there's twitch aiming, which is where you basically rely heavily on your reflexes to do all the aiming. And what I do when I do this, I combine the two techniques in a way where, in the half second where I'm scoped in, I take half a second to think about where they're going, see where they're going, and then take a little free snapshot with my mind. Gotta love caper demo, man. So I take a little free snapshot with my mind's eye, and in that free snapshot, I quickly twitch to their heads and get the shot off. After I'm finished the shot, if you haven't noticed, I jump immediately, and there's a reason to this. If you jump immediately after taking the shot, it'll bring you out of the scope faster than traditional waiting. However, the downside is people will be able to easily headshot you because, like I said, you can't control where you're landing after you start your jump. I mean, you can curve yourself if you had a big enough arc. I mean, if you had more height, but when you're just jumping on the ground, it's usually really easy to predict where you're gonna land. So, there's that. Another thing that you're gonna probably want to use is the console command zoom sensitivity ratio, which allows you to switch the ratio of your sensitivity to... It's just for the sniper scopes. And I usually put it down towards 0.7 of my normal sensitivity. You can play around with that until you feel comfortable with it. I'd say a little bit slower than normal sensitivity is nice if you have a high sensitivity normally. But just in a way where you're able to snap comfortably. By snap, I mean twitch to a point where it feels comfortable. Just play around with it until you feel the twitch can be comfortable. So, in the half second, you want to predict, and twitch, and shoot. And never make shots take too long. Scope in, take a half second, take the shot. The only time I would actually stay scoped in for more than that is if someone's moving in a very predictable way. In that case, you can probably take a second, line up the shot, and wait for them to move in that predictable fashion. But otherwise, keep it nice, short, and sweet. So, what else did I have to say about aim? Did I really just say off all the things I need to say about aim in a 10-minute video in 4 minutes? Great! What am I going to talk about for the rest of this goddamn video? Well, I can talk about how I was a jerk to this engineer and just ate his ammo. I realized what I did afterwards, and I just sort of stood there until the gates open. Ah, this is good. So, a lot of the times when you're doing this sort of sniping, you're going to be missing. That's right, you're going to be missing a lot. But the main thing is to not get discouraged and don't get too aggravated. Keep taking shots, and eventually you're gonna get the headshots. Doesn't matter how many times you miss. Just keep it up, keep it aggressive, but keep it smart too. A good way to snipe is to be aggressive. Take the shots quickly, nice, short, and sweet, like I've said, but also keep in mind, like down here at this tunnel, I know he's got a flare, and I gotta take my shots quickly and dodge. And then when they get around to the close end of the tunnel, they're probably gonna kill me if I stick around. Now these two guys here, I realize that they're not exactly the smartest tools in the shed. Not the sharpest tools in the shed, so I take my time, and I wait a while before I retreat. This was right about there, I felt like I was gonna be in danger. And I'm glad I did, because if I was hit with one more rocket, I probably wouldn't have survived that heavy pecking me from that distance. Once again, if you're missing a whole bunch of times in a row, just keep taking shots, because honestly, running away when something's shooting at you is probably not always the best idea if you don't have that much HP. Take your last stand, take the shots. And yeah, just be generally aggressive and switch around the aiming between prediction and Twitch. I've been saying the same thing a little bit now, but that's really all I can really say about Sniper. I'm sure I'll come up with more things to say every now and then, but you can just look at the way I snipe. One thing I see a lot of snipers doing is sticking to one area and sticking inside their scopes. This creates a little special thing we call tunnel vision, and that is not what you want. You want to go where you see targets, and you want to only scope in when you know there's going to be a target coming, or you see a target and you want to kill him. Don't just wait at the same spot forever for a target to show up. Because not only is it being useless to your team, you can easily get backstabbed or flanked. Because when you zoom in, it's like you just turned your field of view up to like 2. Not exactly that exaggerated, that's hyperbole, but you get what I mean. So I saw here, I wasn't getting any chances at a shot, so I unzoomed, and I saw him flying up there. Unfortunately, he's a Caber Doman, so I didn't have any time to react, and I got killed instantly. But that sort of thing is acceptable. Saw the scout was standing still there, so I just waited, took the shot nice and clean. There's that Caber demo again. I was gonna get a shot on him here, but he died. Also to note that this is recorded from a source demo, so shots may not look like they land, but that's because they are lag compensated. I see things in a different way when I'm actually playing the game. They are either going faster or slower than their model looks. When going for prediction type aiming, try to think in the mindset of the player you're aiming at. Maybe they're low on health, maybe they're retreating. When people are retreating, they take a lot less time to dodge, a lot more time just running, because they just want to get away as fast as possible. Use this to your advantage to figure out exactly where they're gonna run. So a big thing about Sniper is how you place yourself on the battlefield. You might have thought I just stopped talking there for a while, but that's because there was literally nothing coming to mind. So placement on the battlefield, you want to be always in a new place with sniping. Always in a place where they're not going to expect you, because when you start sniping in the same corridor over and over, people are going to learn to avoid that corridor, they're going to try and flank you, etc, etc. So being really mobile as a sniper, and taking really aggressive shots from really weird places, keeps you on the up and up, and keeps you alive, more importantly. People won't be expecting you, and you can get headshots off easier. Because if you ever had a heavy shoot at you from a million miles away as a sniper, you might have had it where it's one bullet decided to land on you right as you're about to pull off the headshot. Which is never nice. Unaware targets are usually the easiest targets to headshot, but sometimes that's not the case. But in most cases, you're completely safe if they don't know you're there. You always want to be thinking, predicting where people are going to be going, what they're thinking. Quick little debate about which secondary to bring. You can have Piss, you have SMG. Don't really take the Razorback, because if you're aware of what you're doing and you don't stay in the scope for too long, you can get rid of backstabs before they happen. Everything else is up to you. But whatever you do, don't take the Cleaner's Carbine. I have a lot of footage that I thought... I didn't think this through. What I usually do when I make these videos is I take all the footage of a few good games, slap it together with the moments I think are most important, and then I just commentate over it. It doesn't matter what's happening in the video. The video is just relevant examples that the person can look at while I discuss the mechanics. But I never really take into account how long it is, and it hasn't really spited me this bad up till now. So I guess I'll talk about this little silly thing that happens here. So this guy has been bad-mouthing the entire round, and I've been headshotting him quite a fair bit, and he's been getting quite angry, quite mad. As you will see here in the chat in a few seconds, he gets mad to the point where he really, really wants me to stop. And I'm not really sure if it's intentionally doing it, if he's just trying to do it for attention. But regardless, he gets the kill on me. And he even taunts me. We cannot have something like that happening. Only got 40 seconds left in the mission. Will I be able to find it?
Mission ends in 30 seconds.
I was looking for the demo when they jumped over there because he was cabering all game. Target spotted! And that's how you shut up an idiot. I think he makes another comment about that. People get really scared of good snipers, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, that's about all the tips I can give right now. If I think of anything after the fact I put this video up, I'll probably annotate it in on all the parts I'm quiet at. But for now, that's all I really did to improve my sniper game. So I'll see you all later.